let's actually segue into the U20 World Cup. Not such a great weekend. We lost to Morocco 3-1. It's the 5th consecutive U20 World Cup that we've lost in the quarterfinals. We just can't get past that hurdle, Chuck. And I think what's disappointing is in the way that we lost. We just gave up some really bad goals.
Yeah.
And I say bad, maybe I should rephrase it as preventable goals.
Yes.
And we could, well, most coaches think most goals are preventable, but these in particular felt extremely preventable. Your thoughts on this loss to Morocco?
Yeah, I honestly felt I felt that we were going to get by Morocco. I did heading into the game. I just thought that the team was well situated for the way Morocco played, the way they were set up. I thought the confidence level was extremely high, but it seems like every time we get to that game, the coaching, I thought Marco Mitrović did a terrific job up until that point, but I always feel like when we get to that level and we're thinking about, oh my God, semifinal, if we get to the semifinal, final,
right,
that we get a little uptight and almost pragmatic, a little bit too safe. And I think in this scenario, I don't know if they anticipated Morocco to sit back as much as they did, because Morocco said, hey, we're going to lock it down. We're going to try and prevent you from getting into those counterattack moments or those transition moments where you're running at us and it's, a 3v2, 2v1s, 4v3. So I think he went too safe. And then he decided to drop Cremaschi back a little bit more to get on the ball and not be so high. I don't think Cremaschi should be that high to begin with. But I would have thought, okay, maybe a Peyton Miller, who is almost like your safety valve for those Moroccan counterattacks, because you need a little bit more speed. Maybe he would have been better equipped to handle, getting into transition a little bit quicker, getting in behind, but also to be someone who can stop those counterattacks. And then in set pieces, right? We got level to make it 1-1 with the penalty kick. I thought, okay, now is the moment for US to take it from here. And I think Cole Campbell was a little bit underwhelming in the way that he played, maybe the way he was used.
I think he was trying too hard a little bit too, right? And that's normal for that age, but keep going. I mean, he thinks he should be the guy, and then he's putting more pressure on himself than he should, but keep going.
Yeah. And then in the end, was there truly a goal scorer, a 9, a center forward? It felt like Cole Campbell is not your typical 9. He's like almost plays like an Antoine Griezmann, but wasn't really used because he come out to the wide to the right and come in on his left foot. And I just felt he found it difficult to get into those dangerous areas. And like you said, doing too much.
Yeah. Listen, in the first minute of the game, we had a good opportunity. Gosso's on the back post. Listen, Morocco, some courageous defending to block the shot. But you and I both know that when you start to get into those types of games where anything can change and the margins are very fine, you have to take those moments. And then even when we went down 2-1, Luke Brennan came in and he had
the tap in. He had a sitter.
He has to catch it on the half bounce, right? But he's just got to put it on frame. He puts it on frame, I think it goes in, and he hits it over. And so that makes it 2-2, and I think maybe the game changes. The third goal, we're chasing the game. There's a miscommunication or a lack of who's going to make the clear decision between the goalkeeper and the center back, and there's a comedy of errors, and it goes. For me, that's what happens when you're chasing the game and your numbers aren't there. Yeah, the boys should have handled it better. It didn't happen. For me, the game's kind of won or decided a lot earlier than that.
But don't you think that this team should be in the semifinals? Like, they had the quality to be in the
Yes,
semifinals.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe where we should have started the conversation. When we evaluate this, and these are the U20s, and I think there's a photo going around right now on the Twitters about what our U20 World Cup looked like back in 2019. I think Tim Weah was on it, Chris Richards, Serginho Dest was on that team. So kind of just like looking back and where they are now. And so I wonder, given the quality that we're talking about, Chuck, which of the players that we're seeing now are going to be kicking on and helping the team, 3, 4, 5 years time. But yeah, you're trying to evaluate these guys in high pressure situations, and the margins are fine. I say this because I thought Japan were excellent against France.
They were.
You're excellent throughout their group. They were excellent against France. Somehow they lost to France, a game they should not have lost. They were all over France, hit the post, hit the crossbar. It was ridiculous. France gets through. France plays Norway in this last game in the quarterfinal and wins 2-1. And now France is in the semifinals, and we were better than France, right? So it's just like, it's just a crazy fine margin game but we have to figure it out. How do you still win games when you don't play well, or if you can't finish? I mean, those nations seem to figure it out in a way that we can't, and we have to unlock that in some capacity. Is that mental? I don't know if the guys are worried about something that happened back in 2019. Probably not. But there's coaches for sure. But the players, I'm not. I don't know.
Of all the players, who do you think gets in team of the tournament? Like Kremasky for sure.
Kremasky's guy scored how many? 5 goals? I think he's in for sure. I thought Nico Chikiris was good.
He was solid. I wouldn't say like he was. I thought Brooklyn Rain stood out.
I like Brooklyn. I was going to say him next. I like Brooklyn, his game. I like his game a lot.
Yeah.
What I like about Nico is that he can make that unlocking pass behind defenses. And if you don't have that type of player, then you really get handcuffed. And so I like that he has that player profile. I mean, there was
Josh Widener.
Josh Widener was good. Maybe I'm nitpicking him because of some recency bias. He had the own goal. Like, we give up a goal on a long throw.
Yeah.
And we had way too many players there to solve that problem. And I know he's on the end of it, but when I think about him and his role as a center back, and I can already see that his presence is huge. He's got to. Can I go back a step? Before we gave up that throw in, he reads this actually frustrates me, Chuck. We have the guy that, I don't know if anybody watched the game, but they're number 7. He's their captain. Clearly wants to be Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, runs like him, wears his captain armband the same way. And Morocco's got the same colors as Portugal, so he looks very Cristiano Ronaldo-esque. And we have him going down the line, and we have 3 guys there. And we got to keep him pinned on the sideline. He cuts back in against the grain, and now he can drive to the central. We have to solve that problem. And then he plays a through ball. When he plays that through ball, Josh Winder reads it and does a great job of reading the play. But I believe he's got a chance to actually take a touch and hoof it up the line. Instead, he just knocks it out for a throw, and these are the little details, right? And it's a really good learning lesson for our group and for these players individually. But had he just, I don't know, is that asking too much? I don't think it is. And before it even gets to him, though, those 3 players need to keep arguably one of their best attacking players trapped on the sideline, so we can't even get into those situations. Yeah. Anyway, it's just little details that I think you're going to look at it. Obviously, we can look
that's like taking it a step further, right? It's okay.
Right.
You know, you get down to an end result of the goal. You say, okay, how did it break down? But then if you go all the way back and you're saying, okay, if we're going to continue to peel this slice down and say, okay, could we have prevented that counterattack? You know, and
right.
And maybe it's a decision making, maybe it's a foul, whatever it is. But in this case, could he have, even if he put it out, but put it further down the field, you know, instead of giving them that opportunity for the long throw? But those are the goals that really annoy you.
I know, they're so annoying.
Long throws, or like these long distance free kicks, and the keeper maybe comes out and there's like a miscommunication or you know, a flick that could have been prevented into another guy, and then there's a scrum and a goal. But either way, it's a little bit disappointing, even though as well as the U.S. had done in this tournament, to end this way. It is disappointing. And I think when you look at the subs, don't you think they were a little bit too late?
When did they start coming in? I
think
75th minute.
It was like Brennan came in. That was that first sub, right?
Brennan came in at the 66th minute, and then Habrun came in for Chikiris in 75th. Zambrano came in for Corcoran in the 75th.
And then Baker
Whiting came in for Nolan
Payne Miller came at the same time, I believe.
Yeah. I listen, these guys are really talented, and I'm excited to see how they continue to grow and evolve over the years. But I agree with you. Ultimately, the short answer is we had enough talent to kick on into the semifinals and potentially beyond that, especially if we've got France.
Yeah. It was a style of play, right? That Morocco said, okay, you're not going to break us down. They wanted to try and, you know, not so much park the bus, but they really did make it difficult to play between the lines. And they saw how the U.S. were able to really cut up teams, and especially if
Yeah.
teams played higher, it gave us a good advantage. They said, we're not going to let you play behind us, and they struggled to break down a Moroccan side.
Yeah. Lots to take away. Unfortunately, we get kicked out. Spain ended up losing to Colombia. That was a crazy game. Japan is at home. Like some really, really good teams.
I watched the Mexico-Argentina game as well.
Yeah, Mexico fell apart at the end, got 2 red cards, lost their composure, and Argentina scored some good goals in that particular game. So you got Argentina versus Colombia in one semifinal, and Morocco and France in the other. A good Final Four. I just wish we were a part of it. Oh, look at you. You got to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. So if you want more average to good content, then you know where to go find it. Go peruse our channel, then hit like, then hit subscribe, and of course, turn on your notifications so that you never miss a show. We'll see you next time.